3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? This is the Board Game Roamer, and I am back. Took a little bit of a hiatus, had a lot of stuff going on, but I wanted to come back to you with the next playthrough, which is going to be Tiny Epic Quest. It is a game by Gamely Games, published by Gamely Games. Scott Alms is the guy that made it. This is not a new game, but it is one. It's really cool. I really have enjoyed it. But there are been a few playthroughs out there, but I do want to do something a little bit different. Have not seen a lot of solo playthroughs, and by solo I don't mean one person playing multiple people. I mean literally the solo game. So this game is a 1 to 4 player game, and there are specific rules that differentiate slightly from the main rules for a solo play. So I thought I would play through and play a legitimate actual solo playthrough, so you guys get an idea of that. Like I said, there are other playthroughs for the full 2+ player games, so if you want to see that, you can definitely go watch those. But I did want to do something a little bit different. I've already got the board set up, so this video is not really going to be gameplay. This video is just going to be me kind of talking a little bit about the board, some of the small differences between the way that it's going to run as opposed to the full 2+ player game. And then the next episode we'll start our actual first turn. So let's get to it. First thing that's different. First thing that's not different in terms of the quests from the quest deck and the requirements of at least one map quest and at least one temple slash item quest showing up here, that stays the same. The layout of the board itself in terms of the map cards is the same. The points for the points for the totals at the end of the game to see how many points you scored are the same. Things that have changed, also the same. Your player cards are the same. The way that you complete temples, all that is the same. Same max power and life. So here's the things that are different. So the first thing that's different is the magic track on the single player side. This is the 2+ player side, 2 to 4 player side here. Essentially, you'll see. It's kind of hard to tell there, but you'll see a 0. If you're looking up here at the top, there's not a lot that happens till you get to the second level and third level spells. That's when you really kind of start losing health from attacks, and power starts to not really help you at all. If you flip it over, you'll see in the corner a 1, which you can't really see there, but you'll see a 1 in this player side. So what happens with this track is at night, when we're doing the rolling, right, when we're doing the adventuring, for instance, at the first magic level, we start off by ignoring the first attack, and then the second attack and subsequent goblin attacks, head attacks that we see, we lose a life. So that's different. And then it just kind of, as you go up, in the second track, you lose 1 on the first one, not 1 on the second one, and you lose a life on the third one. And then the second power, the first power doesn't count, but the second power does. So it's just kind of modifying what those rolls do, because at the solo play, each night we're just rolling the dice for ourselves, so they take that into account. Couple other minor things that change. The goblins. Normally, when you play at the end of the day, any green goblin is flipped over, and then you replace goblins. In the solo playthrough and the solo rules, at the end of the day, we will only flip over 3 goblins from their green side to their red side. And that's only 3 that we do during the day, as opposed to all goblins that are left that were not, at night, that were left that weren't killed. Movement's the same as far as we still have 5 movement. But the difference is, instead of laying out all of the movement cards, we'll shuffle these up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to not look at it when I'm shuffling, then I'm going to cover it, okay? And then what you do is you pull 2 cards and you pick one. So I pull, say, horse and foot. I pick one of these to use. It gets discarded. Then I draw one more card, and then I've got a foot and the next card. I chose to use the foot. Then it gets discarded. I draw another card. Now it's by ship and by wrath. So that's how we pick it. You basically have 2 options. You pick one of the options until you have picked 4 options, right? And then we go into the night phase. The quests, typically, when we're doing the normal 2 to 4 player, we have a quest marker. If a quest is not completed by somebody during the day phase, or I believe the night phase. But basically, if a quest is not completed by the end of the round, then at the end of the round, at the end of the night phase, then the quest to the farthest right goes away. In a solo play, the quest to the far right is always going to go away, regardless of whether you've completed one or not. So that is different. Pretty much everything else is the same. You still roll your 5 dice at night. What you see up here. You see right there. There's the dice. You still roll your 5 dice. You still have the same mins and maxes for your health and life. I've already talked. You're still trying to complete the dungeons to get the legendary items in your card. That hasn't changed. So there's really not a ton of changes, but there are a few tweaks, and it definitely is different playing it on your own. You really kind of don't. You kind of get to plan a little bit more on your own, but I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy it both ways, but I like a game that's more than one player, but I do appreciate when a company, a publisher, does intentionally create, set up, write solo rules, um, so that we can play it solo without having to do a variant that somebody writes up, which I don't have a problem with those, but it's just nice if that's kind of taken into account when they create the game. So I am playing with the day side. All of the cards do come with a night side. So this is the night side. Basically, the night side is a more difficult version of the day side. So if I wanted to challenge myself, that would be one way to do is flip all these over to the night side. I'm also not going to play with any sort of expansion. Part of the deluxe game, if you get the deluxe game, the deluxe edition, there is an expansion, and it's these mushroom grottos, these golden mushroom grottos, and there's some special rules that go with those, with these golden mushrooms. So that is something. Maybe in the future, if you guys really like this, if you want to see the game played with these, I will play this again, either solo or as a two player or 3 player game. But I'm not going to play with that expansion. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot left. But I did want to get this video out there, let you guys know that is coming. I'm kind of getting back into things are calming down a little bit, where I can hopefully do a little bit more filming, be a little more consistent, get some stuff out here to you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys are having a great week. And this is the Board Game Roamer signing off, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.